Hey, 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 welcome, welcome. Welcome to Crystal's Daily Dose of Joy. Welcome, family, friends, and followers. If you're new, then hello. Welcome. If you're returning, then welcome and welcome back. Excuse my oily hair. I got to get a good shower. I thought I'd share our daily bread reading with y'all this morning. This is September, October, and November 2025. The Bible verse on it says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." And that comes from Matthew chapter 11 verses 28. I want to get back more into doing my videos again and sharing the word with y'all. I've had so many people tell me, and then, just I should share a lot more of the word. And my uncle sees me as like a preacher type person. I don't see myself as that, but I really do like talking about life and sharing with y'all. And I did want to tell y'all the reason I'm not uploading as much and sharing and even giving posts over on my community tab is because most of you may know, a lot of you may not know if you're new here, we did take down the monetized part of my channel. So we're not a monetized channel anymore. I did finally figure out, because that's giving us a problem with the verifying, that was not going through for a long time. It finally accepted my bank account and the test run and verifying for that. And even went from like 108 to 112 for the month of October, which I don't understand because I think I took it down back at the end part of September. But anywho, I'm a rocker and I hope that doesn't bother anybody. I apologize if it does. It's what helps me relax. Anyway, I did take that down. I used Venmo and Cash App. That's what I always drop in the links in the description, the links of those for anybody that wants to support the channel. I won't drop my bank account information or anything like that because that's just, I'm not going to drop that kind of information. But I do put my Venmo and my Cash App in most of my videos. That's what I'm using. If you want to support the channel, you do not have to. It is optional. I'm always going to be here to upload when I can and share when I can. We've had a lot go on. Like my husband's truck for like the last week. He has an older truck. The pulley thing went out on it, so they had to change it out. And then after they got it done, it took about 2 or 3 days. They had got a defected part. I guess O'Reilly's had one that was defected. They didn't know it had a hole in it. So the oil and stuff was still leaking out of the truck, and we didn't realize that. And then when the mechanic come back out to help my husband again, they realized that's what it was. So they did get that changed out. This is his first day getting to hopefully work, and there's no issues with the truck in a long time. It's been about a week. So it's not been easy. It's been hard. Financially, it's never easy. But my husband is trying to, and please keep your comments and your judgments and everything respectful. You will be removed if you don't do that here on this platform. My husband, most of y'all know he's a drinker, he's a smoker. He is trying to kind of wing out of that. This would be technically day 2 for him. Yesterday was a really good day between working on the truck. And I think he said the hardest for him, because he's always been a chain smoker, is letting go of cigarettes and stuff. And he's trying to do it cold turkey. Now, that can be scary and it can be hard. A lot of people say it can hurt someone that's done it, especially if it's been most of your life or depending on how much. And my husband knows that, but he feels like if he tries to get out of it any other way, that he's going to keep wanting and having that urge, and he won't. He's tried that before, and it typically doesn't work for him. So he's got quite a few options. Yeah, I got a couple cold sores right here and here, and they hurt. So yeah, we just been busy, y'all. A lot of things are changing. Some of the things, even with health and stuff and appointments, we'll have to just wait, because at this point, it will take us probably a month or 2 to get everything set back into place and get called up, because there's no way, like the 2 different things they were wanting me to go and do, my husband can go down with me and miss a full day of work to go down and have it done. I know that's hard to, some people think, oh, you can't, what if, there ain't no what ifs and stuff like that. My mom don't live here anymore. we finally got her moved out. She's down at Paso Robles with my sister right now. They're waiting on the closing on their place. And yeah, we just had a lot going on. So let's just jump right into this reading. Please do be respectful, like I say, and please keep us in prayers. We always keep y'all in prayers. And yeah, I thought I'd share. So we're looking at the 21st. Yeah, the 21st. And these are really good readings, y'all. This is the one I donate to. It says, Calming the Storm. Calming the Storm. The Bible verse at the top says, Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith? Mark chapter 4, verse 40. And that comes from the New Testament. The book of Mark's in the New Testament. Calming the storm. My 3-year-old niece is beginning to understand that she can trust Jesus in any situation. One night, as she prayed before bedtime during a thunderstorm, she pressed her hands together, closed her eyes, and said, Dear Jesus, I know you're here with us. I know you love us, and I know that the storm will stop when you tell it to stop. I suspect she had recently heard the story of Jesus and the disciples as they crossed the Sea of Galilee. It's the one where Jesus fell asleep in the back of a boat just before a quail nearly capsized the vessel. The disciples woke him up. Don't you care if we drown? Jesus didn't speak to them, but instead addressed the natural world. Quiet, be still. Like I say, it comes from this one says Mark chapter 4, verses 38 and 39. Immediately the water stopped splashing into the boat. The howling wind subsided. There in the silence, Jesus looked at his followers and said, Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith? Imagine their wide eyes staring back at him as the water coursed down their faces and dripped from their beards. What if we could live today with the awe the disciples felt in that moment? What if we could view every concern with a fresh awareness of Jesus' authority and power? Maybe then our childlike faith would chase away our fear. Maybe then we would believe that each storm we face is at his mercy. And then it has 2 questions down here in the kind of bolder black right there. So I always ask myself these typically. It says, what are the barriers to faith in your life? And when I think of barriers, I think of different things. Like when it comes to like doubt, for me, I would say when you're going through something, it feels a little bit more different. You can ask yourself these questions. How can you recapture a sense of wonder of Jesus? A lot of ways we can is just by trust and truly like spending time with him in his word, in prayer, in love, and grace. Really, really, really understanding who Jesus is the one way you'll feel the wonder, is the one way you can really, really be calm during things. I feel like that's what we are. And my husband even said out loud, mine and his views are a little bit differently. He's not one that talks about certain things out loud. He said, I feel like God's trying to wake me up. And so, yeah, it's possible because we all face different trials. So, with that being said, I am going to jump off here. I got another little book I read in the mornings. It's Too Blessed to Be Stressed. It's 3-minute devotionals for women. It's by Deborah M. I might be saying the last name wrong. Cotty. And I just sit here and I kind of wake up. I got to get a shower, get the bed made up, praying the day it goes a little bit smoother than what the week's been. You know, for me, one thing I've learned, and this will be the last thing I say before I jump off here, and y'all are going to think, oh, she's ridiculous. That really ain't true, but it really is, because I still have moments where I complain, and I'm just like, what are we going to do? And I'm freaking out, and I'm losing it. And because there's even family, friends, loved ones in my family. How do you do that? And it's your fault, and I don't want better, and this and that. How do you stay in a spot, or you choose a situation when you're going through something hard? Well, for me, there's 2 things. I'm an analyzer, so I overthink things. So for me, I know that automatically I have to spend time in the Word and prayer. And secondly, I try to be careful with just how much I'm thinking and what I'm allowing, because I know that all of us have different trials and hardships and different times. Most of us have our own walks, but typically, even if something is hard and it's difficult and you're an overthinker, maybe you just don't know how to get out of it, maybe you're new, whatever, to something or whatever, you got to thank God for it, regardless of what someone thinks, regardless of how you feel, regardless of, oh, well, that's ridiculous, no one gets it, no one understands you. First thing I had to recognize and do, because I had been told a few times, is, God, I thank you for this trial. I thank you for this trial, that it's not only my husband feels like he's going through it, this trial that we're going through and we're facing, because this is where, through thanks and through a grateful heart, understanding that God can do something with that, and God can make change, and God can help, and see us recognizing. And I told him, I said, God, I don't like this. I even reached out and I sent a message to my pastor, and I was telling him about everything that was going on with my husband's truck and different things. And I said, it's hard. It's making it really, really hard on us. But after I said that, I realized, God, I still have to be thankful and thank you for this. Because even though it's not comfortable, even though it's not pleasant, even though it's not fun, there is something in it. Whether it's now, whether it's later, whether, after, there is something that you get out of it, And God is always with us, y'all. We know, because the Bible tells us, we know that it says, count it pure joy, for you will face many trials and hardships of every kind. We know that. The Bible tells us that. So I think with that, be blessed. Have a good day. I'll let y'all know in the next couple of days how that goes. I don't know how it works now. I hope everybody's blessed and have a blessed week. And I love y'all. See you later. Bye-bye.